Baby, her 18th blind date, an Ivy League finance bro, is using his fork to grade the menu like a term paper, complaining the salmon tastes like cat food. Then her phone buzzes. It's the hospital. With a code they only use when the world is ending. Caroline stared at Preston Finch, financial analyst. Ivy League. Blind date pound 18. He wasn't looking at her, he was tracing the menu with his fork, sauce flicking onto the tablecloth. The wine list is a joke, he snapped. Caroline gripped her dress. So, Caroline, he leaned back, my mom said you're a nurse. Intern nurse, right. Must be exhausting. All that cleaning up and taking orders. A pretty girl like you could just find a guy who provides. Her phone buzzed. She never took personal calls on a date, but right now, rudeness was the only thing, keeping her from throwing water in his face. The screen showed the chief of staff's direct line. I have to take this. She sprinted to the back of the restaurant. Thompson. Caroline. Code Atlas. All leave cancelled. 10 minutes or don't bother coming back. Click. Caroline froze. Code Atlas. Catastrophe. The world was falling apart. She grabbed her coat. Hospital emergency. Preston scoffed. What kind of emergency could a nurse have? She dropped a 50 on the table and walked out. Cold Washington rain hit her face. No umbrella. Her heart pounded. She finally spotted a cab and sprinted. Washington United Medical Center. Fast as you can. By the time the cab screeched to a halt, the rain had slowed to mist. Caroline jumped out and stopped dead. The main entrance was blocked. Not by ambulances. By military police. Humvees. Soldiers with rifles. Yellow tape. This was a lockdown. She fumbled for her ID. A young guard held up a hand. Restricted area. I'm staff. He checked her badge and stepped aside. The lobby was unrecognizable, suffocating silence, armed soldiers lining the corridors. Thompson. Dr. Cromwell strode toward her, coffee stain on his tie. ICU room 3. Monitor vitals. Don't talk to him about anything but his comfort. Don't touch personal effects. Heart rate fluctuates by 10%, hit this button. He pressed a pager into her hand. Go. Caroline walked briskly down the hall. The air smelled sharper, ozone and disinfectant. As she turned the corner, a group emerged from the private elevator bank. Men in dark suits, military brass. And in the center, walking slightly ahead, was a man carved from stone. Tall, shoulders straining his uniform, a silver eagle on his chest. His face was all sharp angles, his jaw welded shut. As the group passed, he turned his head. His eyes, cold, piercing gray, swept the corridor. For a fraction of a second, his gaze collided with Caroline's. Air rushed out of her lungs. A jolt of pure electricity shot down her spine. Those eyes didn't just see her, they assessed her, catalogued her, dismissed her in a heartbeat. Colonel Romero, an aide murmured, handing him a tablet. The spell broke. He looked away and kept walking, firing off orders in a low, clipped voice. Caroline let out a shaky breath. She hadn't realized she'd stopped until a hand grabbed her arm. Are you breathing? Her friend Brenna whispered. Oh my god, did you see him? The colonel. That's Jared Romero. Department of Defense. He's the guy they call when the world is ending. She fanned herself with a chart. And he looks like a movie star. A very angry, very scary movie star. Caroline rubbed her neck. He looks like he'd shoot you for sneezing too loud. Probably, Brenna agreed. But what a way to go. Where are you headed? ICU 3. Cromwell's special assignment. Brenna's expression sobered. Be careful. That patient isn't just a soldier. This whole thing is off the books. The FBI tried to get in and got turned away at gunpoint. I just have to watch the monitors, Caroline said. She pushed through the ICU doors. They hissed shut behind her. Room 3. 2 MPs stood outside, faces blank. They checked her badge again. The room was cold. The steady beep of the heart monitor was the only sound. In the bed, a young man lay motionless, face swollen and bruised, bandages wrapped around his torso. Caroline checked the IV lines, scanned the chart. Alston Peterson. Lieutenant. JAG Corps. Blood pressure stable. Heart rate steady. She let out a slow breath. Maybe this would just be a boring vigil. But as she stood there, listening to the rhythmic beeping, she couldn't shake the feeling that she had just walked into the eye of a storm. And that colonel with the eyes like ice. He was the one controlling the wind. What she didn't know, hidden in the bedside table of room 3, under a pile of bandages, was a photograph. Of Colonel Romero. And on the back, scrawled in shaky handwriting, if he wakes up, don't let him speak. The first word out of his mouth is treason.